Welcome, Rocky Krogfoss. How are you?
I'm very
Thank
good,
you for
thanks.
joining us for this Astral interview.
My pleasure. My pleasure to share this information with your subscribers.
We haven't had a conversation in a long time, and so today we're going to focus on a different subject because you've taken a turn and are discussing healing and empowering women. Is that correct?
That's my entire focus, yes.
It's your entire focus. Okay. So tell me about, well, we haven't talked in a while, so tell me how that came about and your successes, your learnings, your findings in that arena.
Okay. Well, it started about 25 years ago with an awareness that I had a gift to heal pain. I started out by healing migraine headaches. I'm kind of cutting the story short here. I started out by healing migraine headaches.
That's all right.
Yeah. And I was able to heal women's migraine headaches in about 30 minutes. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a clue what I was doing back then. Through guided messages, I was guided to study quantum physics, biophysics, epigenetics, and a number of different conscious energy sciences, of which now I'm a little bit of an expert on the science of conscious energy with regards to healing. And so, you know, I learned all of the sciences and I merged the sciences, which is what the quantum sciences are doing now, with conscious energy or divine energy to explain how every single thought, every feeling, every word you speak, the beliefs you have, and how that all creates your reality. It's one uniform frequency, how that creates your reality. And the reality you're living right now is a direct relationship to every belief system you have, every thought, every feeling, every word you say. So as a healer, I've learned that healing and is all about shifting and changing informational patterns, which ultimately changes your frequency to a higher level rather than traditional energy healing, which really does nothing permanent. It only helps people raise their vibration temporarily. It doesn't heal anything. So I'm here to not only teach this to healers, I'm here to teach this to anybody who wants to learn how to effectively heal chronic pain, depression, anxiety, PTSD, domestic abuse, trauma, you name it. I've done it all. And so I'm here to share my wisdom, which is world-class right now, with the world. And anybody who wants to learn this, and any woman who wants to learn why she feels stuck all the time and she's trying hard to get unstuck and she can't. It's because we haven't yet learned that the information in our subconscious mind is responsible for creating our what appears to be our only reality. The current reality that we're living, whether it's struggling, pain, depression, anxiety, you know, money issues, relationship issues, it's all tied into our subconscious unworthiness beliefs and worthiness beliefs. And my job is to help you raise your vibration to a higher state of worthiness to receive love. We are all so programmed heavily in unworthiness, fear, and limitation on this planet. We don't even know it because we're not aware of our subconscious mind, because we all think that the brain is where it's at, and that's a medical system lie. And I'll use the word lie because it's a lie. And we have great, huge, wonderful, fantastic scientists now like Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Nassim Haramein, Greg Braden, Dr. Amit Goswami, Dr. Joe Dispenza. The list goes on and on and on and on of great scientists who are proving that the relationship between our informational patterns in our DNA and our subconscious mind and our reality are directly linked. Therefore, that is where we need to go to heal whatever's going on with us. How's that?
So in fact, that's a very ancient teaching in itself, is it not?
Well, it's ancient teaching.
Goes beyond our great scientists.
Well, you know, ancient teachings in a quarter won't get you a cup of coffee in today's world. We're living in a new world now. It's called 5D. We're transcending into a new world, a new energy, a new body. And, you know, I prefer to work with the most modern. Yes, it's a reflection of what we knew in the past from, you know, Atlantis and Lemuria, but that's irrelevant now. I like to work in the now. What can I do for you now? I don't want to go back to Lemuria and check my books back in Lemuria and say, I think this is how we do it. Let me check my books. Yeah. So I'm here today with the wisdom and the gift to help women heal whatever issues are causing them discomfort. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's an emotional issue, you know, just you know, not feeling good about yourself or whatever, or whether it's pain, or whether it's, you know, serious enough to be depression or anxiety. These are all relatively easy to transform and raise the vibration to a state of balance and happiness. And that's it.
So you had a realization basically when you were able to heal those migraines, and whatever that realization was showed you that you had a skill different than what you had before. And so what changed? Like, what was the difference, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, there was no difference. It was a latent skill that was to be revealed. I came to Earth with it. I didn't have to do anything to earn it or make it happen or turn it on. It was there all the way along, and I was helping people heal, unbeknownst to me, back when I was in my, what I call my gratuitous monkey stage, and completely unaware of anything. And it just revealed itself in the most beautiful way, and shocked the bejesus out of me, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't know what I was doing, but yet all these women, their pain went away. So I had to do research to find out why. I'm the kind of guy that asks the question why, and I go why, way down the list until I get to the core. And that's what I've done, is I've gone to the core of creation to understand the true nature of reality, which is a reflection of what my spirit guide, whose name is Seth, is all about. He's all about the nature of reality, and he is one of my teachers for sure.
So let's talk about Seth then. When did Seth enter your reality, and what was happening in your life at the time, do you think, that prompted that?
Well, 25 years ago, I had my famous, you know, oops, there goes the carpet, down I go into the hole of hell. And it was hell. It was dark, it was ugly, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. A complete disconnect from any good feelings whatsoever. I felt terrible every day. I felt paranoid, I felt scared, I felt afraid of everything. And it was just dark. It was dark, and so that's when I sought out help from our dear friend Linda Nardelli, and we began those healing sessions. And in 2006, a new voice came through the channel, and the voice said the following. I'm going to be a bit comical here. I have been communicating to you through everyone you meet. And I went, hello? Who is this? You can call me Sentient. And I said, Sentient. I knew that was the name of my spirit team. I said, well, that's cool. But he said, you can also call me Seth. And I said, excuse me? You can also call me Seth. And I said, are we talking about the same Seth that I've heard so much about? The famous Seth who channeled through Jane Roberts and wrote all these books called Seth Speaks.
Uh-huh.
He says, you'll make me laugh, Rocky. Yes, I am the same one. We don't have much time. I have much to tell you. Just listen, please. Sir, yes, sir.
Wow.
And thus began my
So that was,
go ahead, please.
well, it's important, the back history of how you come to be now, right? So, and Seth, although is a spirit guide, he influences your reality now as much as what's happening outside in the scientific world does. Does Seth not?
He influences my reality, but he's acutely aware that I'm on a free will and free choice human body journey, which sometimes frustrates the bejesus out of him because I can be very stubborn. And so, and he reminds me, okay, you're so stubborn.
Right.
There's much I wish you could do differently. And well, I'm working on it, dude. Come on, cut me some slack. But we have fun.
So do you communicate? Go ahead.
Well, Seth communicates to me primarily through healing work. I'm most focused and most aware because my entire life has been all around. The last 25 years have been focused on helping become the best healer in the world that I can be. And, doing things that, that most, well, certainly the medical community goes like, well, that's impossible. Well, no, it's not impossible. I'm doing it daily. I'm helping people heal pain daily, chronic pain. I helped a woman 3 weeks ago heal the pain of a kidney stone in 10 minutes. That's unheard of. I helped her heal her fibromyalgia in about 3 weeks. That's unheard of. And so how is that possible? Yeah. Well, it's possible when you understand the new science and you get your head out of this medical pop a pill, run from your pain, run from your emotions nonsense that this world has been indoctrinated in over the last 100 years. So it's time for us to wake up and realize that we are responsible for our own reality. We are the ones creating our reality, and that's done through what I call, and when I get up on stage and I talk to women, this is my best tool. And I say to the women, what is this? And they'll say an iPhone. I'll say, nope, this is the floppy disk from your subconscious mind. And let's go into my documents, that old-fashioned my documents thing, and press my documents, and boom, a whole bunch of programs comes up saying I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. For women, the number one program that women have that is so de-empowering, that's typical across the board, is I give my love away to everyone in the hopes of receiving some love back. And I just show them the program, then I show them then I just say to them, what's happening in your life right now? Let's take a look at it. Where are you struggling? You're struggling with family? Are you struggling with spouse? Are you struggling with children? Are you struggling with money? Are you struggling with neighbors? Are you struggling at work? Are you struggling with self? Are you struggling with your own worth? Struggle, 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 struggle. Let's go there, and I'll be able to show you in your program where that comes from, and I'll prove to you that you can shift and change it through an experiential transformation in the healing process that is palpable, measurable, and feels absolutely amazing. You feel so much lighter. You feel free. That's the magic word. You feel freedom, and you feel like you can fly. And so the healing process is not a logical process. Anyone who tries to understand it logically, good luck on that. It's experiential, it's experiential, it's experiential. That's it. So we have some beautiful music playing in the background. What is that?
They're chimes. I'm sitting outside, so the chimes are going. I have no control over them. But they want to chime in too.
Cool, that's good. That's good. I was just wondering. I thought maybe you had an app on your phone.
No. No, I think they're agreeing with what you're saying. Question for you now is then, so in the years you've been working with women and others, I imagine, are you finding that your experience working with them is contributing to your growth in skill?
Unquestionably, absolutely. I learn from every single client that works with me, especially the women, because I aren't one, and therefore I
Right.
learn so much about the subtleties and the interesting ways, or I'll use the term approaches to thinking in life that women have that are so vastly different from my
Right.
world as a man. And when I become aware of these, they're so profound and so amazingly, um, it's such a gift. It's such a gift to be able to understand women at this depth. Is a gift. It's a gift. For a man, this is a huge gift. And so I take these experiences and this wisdom. My daughter, who's an indigo and crystalline indigo, but
Mm-hmm.
also a very, very gifted, very intelligent woman, has been teaching me many, many, many of the, we'll call them core belief programs, the titles, if you will, that women go through in life. And she's given me several that I use in my webinar that I teach women about healing and empowerment.
Right.
So yes, the answer is yes.
And so
I learn a lot.
Being a woman, I often shy away from going for healing or anything really to a male. What could you say to ease the minds of women listening right now who would consider coming to you but have that same feeling?
Well, first of all, let me explain why women do that. For thousands of years, men have dominated the energy of the planet. Women are innately and naturally afraid of the male energy because they've been so oppressed and so, disrespected is the word that I'll use with the male energy. Therefore, I simply say to women, I've been doing this a long time with women. I've had a lot to learn. Yes, that's true. But I say to them, do one free healing session, come and sit with me. You'll see right away that I can welcome you to a space where you're comfortable, you're safe and comfortable. At the same time, I'll get you very quickly out of that fear and into what we need to work into, which is the reason why you're there. I'm very good at it. I've done it a long time. And I would say to you that I'm, 1 in a billion men, for lack of a better term. My entire sole purpose has been to empower the feminine, including the feminine in myself. So I welcome women to do a free session and experience it. And if it doesn't work for you, I don't have a problem if you walk away. But it's free. You got nothing to lose, right? Rarely does that happen. Rarely does that happen, though.
Right. Right. And you've had instances where that's happened?
Oh yeah, women will come to me and they'll have some real serious fears around men, distrust around men, and that will prevail throughout the entire free healing session. And at the end, they'll walk away and I'll just say, the universe, I just let the universe bring people to me for whatever reason. I need to learn something, or I'm there to provide healing services. And so nothing's ever perfect. My healing gift is not perfect. I don't guarantee healing. I guarantee healing when a person shows up ready to do the work. Yes, I guarantee healing. Right. But if you want me to heal you, that ain't gonna happen, because it's about you. It's not about me. It's about me providing a space, provide safety and vulnerability for you, and allowing me to guide you through the myriad of issues that you need to release in order to be in a higher state of self-love. So healing is a process. Healing is a process. It's not a one-off thing. Yes, I can heal pain very quickly because pain is pain. However, releasing the causation, ring, 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 ring. So healing the causation of pain and suffering requires time, requires several sessions, at least 8 to 10, for me to, make a good venture into that, and to allow you as the client to really experience the shifts and changes and become very aware. I like to use the word become very aware of everything that you're thinking and saying before you say it. That's what you call become intimately aware
Right.
of the power of your thoughts and words, and choosing to change your language, which you're very familiar with, which I call a lot of the language that we use when we first start our healing. I call it feeding gasoline into the dragon's mouth. Generally not a beneficial thing. So when you're feeding
Right.
gasoline to the dragon's mouth, it's, God, I shouldn't have done that. I was stupid. I was wrong, blah, 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 blah. I can't do that. It's just one thing I've never been able to do, so I'm not even going to try. Well, when you say that, I
Right.
guarantee you it'll never happen, because you're feeding your DNA and your cellular body the information it needs to go like, sorry, not going to happen. That's not how life works. That's not how the human body works. That's not how we were designed. We're re-educating ourselves
Right.
on what is possible. Now, conscious energy, the energy of everything of the universe, everything is made out of conscious energy. Our bodies, our cars, our earth, our trees, our water, everything is made out of conscious energy. Our body is, for all intents and purposes, 100% conscious energy. So I call our bodies quantum fields. Now, quantum fields, according to Dr. Amit Goswami, who's a PhD, said we are a field of possibilities. Now, if we are a field of, if my body and Rocky is a field of possibilities, and you're a human, which I'm assuming you are, Shiros, is your body is a field of
Sometimes.
possibilities. Yeah, we come from different planets. I get that. So we are a field of possibilities. Our body is a quantum field operating at what Einstein called a lower frequency, which makes us appear thick and physical, okay? It's an illusion. But, it's an illusion that's perfectly designed to carry our soul throughout our lives for the soul to experience the human experience, to experience feelings, to experience thoughts, to experience creativity. So what I say to...
that...
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I was just going to comment on what you said, in that if we're a lower frequency and that results in our density, the emotions we feel, the physical sensations we feel, the pain we feel, they are all very real to us. They are all very current, and they affect our lives in a very real way. So to make the shift between the awareness of the fact that, okay, we can say it's an illusion, but really it doesn't affect us as an illusion, it affects us quite in a real way. And so
that's because
the healing work you do, go ahead.
I was going to say that's because we have been trained in a medical mindset of physicality. So we treat everything with a physical mindset. We treat, well, that's painful, therefore I have a physical pain problem. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Right.
And so this is hard to overcome because we have been heavily influenced by the medical system, by the pharmaceutical system for over 100 years now. And so our mindset is around physicality. The science has proven that we're not physical, so that's not an issue whether it's provable or not. I have some people challenging me on these things, and they're part of an old scientific mindset which has no basis in reality anymore. And quite frankly, I just don't even waste my time anymore. I want to work with people who are ready to understand who they really are. And we are, as a human being and as a collective souls, a quantum field, and on Earth, we are a mass conscious energy mindset with information. That's it.
Right.
Information. So inner child, all of the things we learned from our parents and our ancestors through our parents, and the patriarchal mindset, for the most part, are our heavy programmers. Well, it doesn't take long to figure out with those two particular inputs the numbers of programs that we downloaded subconsciously. You know, as a little girl, you learned a whole bunch of stuff about your worth or self-worth or not worth or not good enough or not, you know, not worthy of love in so many ways. But those programs are still there. They're running in the adult body. 80% of our programs running in our adult body today were downloaded into our body before the age of 8. So we have a program, a series of programs running through us that are causing us to relive over and over and over again, gasoline into the dragon's mouth, the pain and loneliness and abandonment and suffering and fear of our little girl, our little boy, but also being fed by the institutions of the patriarchal mindset, which is heavily based in male thinking. It's 100% male thinking. It does not serve women at all. And so I'm encouraging women to break free from the patriarchal mindset and set what I call an entirely new rule book. Write a new rule book, a rule book where you go through each and every rule that you're following right now that we identify, cross them out, change the language to I love and support and acknowledge and hear and value myself so highly now that I become I am that I am. And when you do that, you shift the frequency. Even if you don't believe it at first, you still shift the frequency, but eventually you see the results of it in your life of changing your frequency. Things shift and change. I have so many women come to me and say, you know, I didn't even realize it, but you know, like we started doing this 3 weeks ago, and all of a sudden, you know, I just realized yesterday that all this stuff that was going on before, it's not even happening now. Same people, same life, but all the trauma is not happening anymore. And I said, well, congratulations, you created a new reality in which these people are taking part, because that reality was not one you wanted anymore. You don't have to make sense of it. You just have to enjoy the pleasure of living it.
And how amazing is that just the act of deciding to make that change in your life causes change. Just the act of looking at your current mindset or belief systems or emotional state will actually catapult the whole healing into motion and take you as an individual into a new awareness.
That's true if you believe it. If the old beliefs saying, yeah, well, who do you think you are? Really? Come on, stop it. If you continue to believe that, you will not change your reality. So this is work. This is not easy work. Sometimes it's really difficult. Sometimes there's a lot of tears, maybe some anger, maybe some loneliness, maybe some grieving. Whatever comes up, we allow it. We bring it forward. We observe it. We love it, like the wounded little girl. Many times it's the wounded little girl, and we bring her in and we hold her and we coddle with her and we rock with her. We take her to a new place where there's only children, and they have fun and they laugh and they dance and they sing and they play all day long, and there's no adults allowed. This transformational exercise creates freedom like you wouldn't believe. It also creates one more very important thing that women have had taken from them in many multiple levels, and that's innocence. Children are robbed of their innocence, and this includes little boys as well, are robbed of their innocence, and when we reclaim the innocence, because it never left, it was just reprogrammed. When you claim that innocence, you know, I have some women say, I'm just going to go out into the street, and I said, I'm going to hop, I'm gonna hop, skip, and jump down the street like a little girl. And I said, do it, have fun. So while you're at it, grab a great big thing of cotton candy and a lollipop and stick it in your mouth at the same time. And just dance like a little girl, like nobody's watching, just have fun. And some people might think you're crazy, and some people might go, you know what, I want to do that too. I want to be that free.
Right.
It's a feeling.
And it's an amazing feeling when you let yourself be that way too.
Exactly.
It releases you from blockages that you know really are only there because you allow them to be there.
Well,
there is that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's not that you allow them to be there, it's that you're unaware that they're there and you're struggling to understand why your life can't change. My job is to help identify and help educate in what is causing your reality to transform in the way, or to appear to you, or to experience in the way that you're experiencing it now. And I guide you in a way to shift and change that information so you can create a different reality.
So you said something earlier in Biology of Belief. Dr. Bruce Lipton also talks about the subject matter. And there's kind of two schools of thought out there where you don't need to change your belief system. You just have to do the exercise of appearing to change your belief system, and things will change. And then there's this other school of thought that says you absolutely have to change your belief system or nothing's going to change. And it sounds like you fall into that category. But what do you have to say to the other camp that says,
I would say to them,
it doesn't matter if you even believe the system?
They're missing one point. That is, do you actually believe it? There is one law on this planet of Earth where we humans exist. There's one law that is sacrosanct and it will never change. And that is, what you believe is what you create. So I would say to those that would say that, I would say to them that I invite my clients to start believing something even though they don't believe it. And I encourage them, and I keep working with them until it becomes a belief. Now, some people can do that right away. Some people can't. Some people are in so much pain that they're willing to do it right away. Some people aren't. So, you know, there's a gigantic multi-billion-dollar industry out there called mindset, where they tell you to just do this, and your world will change. I don't know how many of them actually change, but I'm willing to guess it's pretty low. So, you know, we can fool people, you know, some of the time, but I'm here to explain the causation of your reality and work from that position. However it unfolds is natural to you, and I sit there and I create a space for it to unfold naturally, whether it takes intensive belief work or it takes affirmations to allow the belief to transform. Both are appropriate.
So it's fascinating to hear that you can cause actual physical change through the healing that you do within minutes.
It's not physical change.
So it's got to, okay.
It's informational change.
A conscious change.
It's informational change within the subconscious mind, which activates the DNA to switch and change over to a different program right now. For example, migraines. So I'll give you an example. Routinely heal migraine headaches now on this planet, anywhere on the planet, in about 10 to 15 minutes. It's not that difficult. When you shift, when you go into what's going on in their reality and what is, you know, the trigger causing the migraines over and over and over again. And it's not generally, most people believe in a medical mindset. You know, You know, it's the environment. You know, it's eggs, it's cheese. You know, it's peanut butter with strawberry jam. Whatever. Can we go to the causation? The causation of pain is a quantum field with information. So let's go to the information source. Let's go to the subconscious mind. Let's find out what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're saying. Usually a lot of self-judgment or anger will trigger a migraine over and over again. And life creates these circumstances over and over and over again until we learn. That's what life's about on this planet. So migraines coming back over and over and over again are usually triggered by the same kind of programming over and over again. So once we identify that program and release that programming, even in the moment where they're just in so much pain, they're praying and praying to have that pain go away because it's so bad. That intention is so strong that they create the healing conditions right away and pain leaves right away. I just facilitate. And I provide the space for them to let that pain go really fast. Long-term healing of pain takes work to find out the programming and let it go. Usually goes to the inner child. We got to find out what's going on with the inner child and what they believe and why that's manifesting itself and amplifying itself over and over and over again.
I've had those type of migraines where you have to turn out the lights, lock yourself in a dark room, and just go to sleep and hope that when you wake up that migraine's gone. And I remember the medical doctors wanting me to create log books of my experiences, of what I ate and what I did. And I really don't know what made them go away, but they're gone now, and I haven't had them for years. But they were unbearable.
Let's take a look at why. What's the one thing that you have now that you didn't have before?
It's the one thing that I have now that I didn't have. Freedom to think and speak as I will, I guess.
Thank you. Freedom. You didn't have judgment pounding on you over and over again. You, like any other woman on this planet, were tied into not only a cultural belief, but a patriarchal belief that you had to do certain things to be a woman in relationship with a man. And so you have chosen through your experiences and your pain to say, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm worth more. That's what you did.
Right.
If you're worth more and you believe that now, gee, I wonder why the migraines are gone now. Let me think about that for a second. Freedom! Welcome women to freedom. It's that simple. Right. It's that simple.
Right.
Cheers.
So, okay, so the other question I had for you was that you heal. Now, do you have some of these gifts that psychics and healers have? Clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvisual, I forget the name now.
I don't identify any of those.
Can you see?
No, I don't identify any of them. When I'm in healing mode, I'm tuned in to a four-way conversation between my spirit guides, their spirit guides, my client, and me. So there's this informational flow going on that helps me identify and get more clear on where I need to go to very quickly and efficiently identify programs causing pain or suffering of any kind. So I am connected that way. Let me just put it this way. I'm not psychic and I'm not a medium, and I have channeled once or twice in my life, but not a lot. I'm just aware. I'm just more aware. And that's what I need to do, because I get what I call puffs of smoke. And it's like, oh, okay, that's where I need to go. So that's it. There's nothing special about it. And you know, I am that I
Right.
am. You know, I'm a healer. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a, you know, I'm not a person that gives information on, you know, when is my next boyfriend or
Yeah.
girlfriend going to show up. I'm not interested in that stuff at all.
No.
Yeah,
And it's not even that important, right?
it's not
What's
important.
important is healing the being. When you're communicating in the moment with your client's guides, your guides, what does that look like? It's a mental communication.
No, it's a puff of smoke.
It's a puff of
That's it.
smoke.
That's it. That's it.
And that puff of smoke basically gives you a download that allows you to know what next steps you have to take, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the best way to describe it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seth wants me to tune in
Okay.
more. Seth wants me to tune in more to them and learn, be able to speak to them more. They want me to speak to them more, but you know, it just hasn't happened yet. But you know, I would imagine it'll happen sooner or later. So I don't worry about
Right.
these things. I enjoy doing what I'm doing, and I know I'm good at it. And there's
Right.
no greater joy than watching a woman who's in severe pain all of a sudden lose the pain, or a woman who's in severe trauma or anxiety let go of that anxiety and start to breathe and live their lives normally and be happy again. There's no greater reward than watching a person transform from
Right.
suffering to joy.
Well, you're doing a great service out there. Can you share maybe a couple of cases which were very, very successful to you? You don't have to tell us who, but maybe
Yeah,
the situation and
yeah,
maybe their comments.
yeah. Well, I have lots of testimonials, as you know, and I have lots of video testimonials.
Yeah.
I'll mention a migraine one. There's a lady in Surrey who I worked on, and every time she got a migraine headache, she would contact me. I told her, contact me right away. Like, doesn't matter when, just contact me right away. And whether it was by phone or whether it was on Zoom or whether it was in person, whether she drove to my house, each time she was able to release the pain in 10 minutes or less. Now that told me something.
Right.
And so when each time that she released her headache, she started to begin to understand what was causing her headache. There was multiple inputs, multiple ancestral inputs, multiple unworthiness inputs, and multiple patriarchal inputs. So we started working on the multiple inputs, and she got to the point whereby she did not have a migraine headache for like 6 months. She was getting them 3, 4, 5, 6 times a month. She did not have one for 6 months, and one started to creep up again. And I gave her a toolkit to teach her. You know, she understood how she was creating them, and she was able to heal that migraine headache before it became a migraine headache. So she was, you know, we'll say a complete student. And she really bought into it, and she really
Right.
began to understand it. So the migraine headaches are a dime a dozen for me. The other ones that are more complex, there's a woman who lives in BC, and she had severe anxiety. She'd had it for well over 30 years. It was family related. There was a lot of judgment, and but she had bought into trying to appease her family over and over and over again. It created such a state of anxiety that when I first worked with her, her eyes were fluttering all over the place, and she was talking a mile a minute. And so I just eventually got her to slow down and pay attention to what was really causing the anxiety, and she did. And within, I would say, a month, I was able to get her completely free of the anxiety and establish a new relationship that respected her right to be heard, to be valued, to be acknowledged, and to be supported in all circumstances. And that allowed the anxiety to simply disappear. And she was extremely grateful for that. These are typical of the cases that I do. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, those are more difficult because they're pretty serious. When a woman has been assaulted, whether it's sexually or physically, those kinds of traumas are very deep and very painful. And so I've worked with that many times. It takes time, and I do try to very quickly find a space for them, or I call it a sanctuary, whereby they can retire to the sanctuary and let go of everything outside in the world that appears to be real to them, appears to be causing them suffering because they feel so unworthy of love. And the sanctuary is a place that we call a sanctuary of self-love, where that's all that exists in this sanctuary. And when you give yourself permission to build this sanctuary, we call it like a bubble, and you go and sit in this bubble, you literally forget about everything else, and you feel peace and harmony, and you relax. And that gives you a launching pad to create that in your life outside of the sanctuary as well. And that has happened many times.
So let's talk a little bit about the process. You talked a little bit about it in that you communicate with their spirit guides, your spirit guides, and them. Is there a healing touch process, or is there any hands-on, or is there any Reiki?
No, never.
Okay.
Never. No touching, no machines, no health products, no pills. This is conscious energy.
Okay.
I'll use the term transformational access, conscious energy, vibrational rise through the guidance towards receiving more love in areas where their ability to receive love has been greatly diminished. So, and this conscious energy, because everything is conscious energy and everything is connected, you and I are connected, me and any other person on this planet, we're connected. I use that conscious energy conduit. I create a conduit right now between you and me, which allows me to experience your feeling body now as if you were sitting, 2 feet away from me. So it doesn't matter where on the planet you are, I can create that experience, and that allows me to, refine and access what I need to access in order for you to raise your vibration, to have an experience of releasing negativity, whatever form it is. So conscious energy is a miracle. It's a divine energy. It always has been, it always will be, but it's also scientifically proven now.
Right. And that really gives way to distance healing. And so you're telling me that you can work your healing at a distance, correct?
I've done it forever. Yeah. No, the distance is not a reality. It's an illusion if you understand, the sciences. Yeah, I work with women all around the world. Yeah, routinely.
And there's just as many successes at a distance versus when you're one-on-one with somebody.
There's no difference.
There's no difference.
Why would there be?
Why would
there be?
time and space.
The conduit between me and a person is if you were sitting right here, so there's no difference.
Well, you and I understand that, but how would we bring that understanding and message to someone who's listening right now?
I would say that we all need to upgrade our understanding of the power of conscious energy, because it's a science now. I'll be more than glad to explain it to you scientifically, and then we can sort of merge into the spiritual aspect of it, or the divine aspect of it. Doesn't have to be spirit. I don't teach spirituality to anybody. Not even interested in teaching spirituality. I teach conscious energy science and its divinity to people. It's like
Right.
Seth calls it the true nature of reality. That's what I'm teaching people. I'm not interested in
Right.
anything else.
Right. Right. So another question I have is that, okay, so people have gone through trauma and situations in their lives that have led them to the experiences they're having now. You're the healer that comes in and helps them. But what about parents who are parenting the young children? What advice do you have for them so that their children never get to a point where they're in this world of trauma and needing any kind of healing, because they have the skills and they have the knowing to stay away from situations that result in that?
Well, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, they have ancestral lineage belief systems that they're downloading to their children through the DNA. The first thing a parent can do is, one, become aware of your own belief systems and how damaging they may be. And two, always, 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 always tell your child you love them every day and that they can do anything. I did that with my daughter, and she turned out to be completely non-rebellious, just a loving angel right through her teens. And there's no fight, because when a child believes in themselves, you see, the problem is, as
Right.
parents, we have lots of ancestral beliefs that don't allow us to believe in ourselves. You know, for men, we're highly insecure and we don't talk about our feelings because we're men. Or we're women and we're going like, well, you know, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do this and I got so much to do. I got so much to do. What am I going to do? You know, if I don't do it, who's going to do it?
Right.
You know, and
Right.
I'm here to
Yeah.
support and take care of everybody. No, you're not.
Right.
So parents can do their own healing first. That would be the best thing you can do for your child. The second best thing you can do right now is tell your child every day from your heart, not from a, well, I kind of love you, you know, I kind of love you. No, I love you.
Right.
You're amazing. You're wonderful. You can do anything. Let them know how
Right.
amazing they are. It's kind of a no-brainer, but we are programmed away from doing that because our parents and their parents and their parents weren't allowed to do that because we don't talk about that stuff. So
Right.
those are two very simple rules that I would give to each parent.
Wow. That's quite a responsibility on the parent. And that what's discovered in your answer is that, you know, it really doesn't matter, because the parents are going to pass on their stuff subconsciously to their child if they're not aware of what their life has brought them to, and if they haven't healed themselves, even, for that matter. And so it's really important for everyone to heal themselves. There isn't a single person out there that shouldn't take
Consider it.
advantage of
Yeah.
your services and work through their own healing as a service to themselves and their family that they're looking after.
And that's going to happen on this planet more and more now, especially now. We're in a huge transformational timeline in the history of this planet right now. There are
Right.
many great things that are going to come forth on this planet, and I'm aware of a few really cool inventions that are coming our way really shortly. They're going to change things dramatically on this planet. So we're in a timeline where it's okay now to become aware of who you really are and what you're saying, what you're believing, and what you're teaching, and the negative impacts of some of those teachings, some of those beliefs, and choosing to be aware of the fact that you can change them and how to do it safely and easily, without psychotherapy, without drugs, without touching, without machines, without pills.
So I noticed you choose to have dream catchers in your background, and they're quite beautiful. Do you want to talk a little bit about them?
No, there's not much I want to say other than I have a deep, huge respect for First Nations spirituality, their love of the land, their love of the nature spirits, their love of the sky, their love of the earth, their love of the universe. They just have a very simple but extremely authentic understanding of the true nature of reality, and I love the First Nations people for it. And the magic of their dream catchers fills my space here with peace and harmony.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, I really love your background.
Thank you.
Well, Rocky, I sort of exhausted my questions. We learned a lot from you. We learned about what you do. We learned about your past. We learned about your clients. We learned about your healing work. And I think there's so much that our subscribers can gain from even taking advantage of your free healing session, just to get a feel for what kind of healing they need. I'm sure you're going to share that with them.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
So maybe what you can do is provide me some information that I can share with the clients that contact me who want to get in touch with you for that free healing session. And
Sure.
So we'd appreciate that. The other thing is, maybe there's something you want to share with the clients right now that I haven't asked you, or that you feel needs to be said that wasn't said. And
Yeah.
I give you that opportunity now.
Okay. I would say to you that each and every person on this planet has an opportunity to become more deeply aware of self. It doesn't matter what you think the kind of job you're doing in your life, with workmates, with spouses, with families, with children. You might think you're doing a good job, and you probably are, except there's a few areas where you need to shift and change to make it better. And those are not obvious to you because your reality just seems it's rolling so smoothly. I would like to help you identify areas where you can be even more effective, more loving, more gentle, more compassionate, and create, a harmony in areas in your life right now which, unbeknownst to you, are causing you stress and causing you challenges. And I welcome you to call me, 604-802-6390, anytime from anywhere in Canada, United States. And I'll talk. I'll talk to you, and or through my website, there's a sign up there for a free 45-minute healing session. And I welcome everyone to experience, or to learn, or to ask questions about, I've been wondering about this, I've been wondering about that, ask questions. Every question is a good question, every question is valid, and every question will be answered, I promise. So I welcome all input, all inquiries, and like I say, I guarantee the first session will always be free.
And perhaps maybe would you be open to doing a group session then as well at some point?
I have been asked by other.
Do that as well.
Yeah, I have been asked by other great spiritual leaders. I've been in contact with some more famous people, and they've asked me if I'll do group channelings. Yeah, group healings. Group healings, and the answer is yes. I'll be doing that as well. So, it's just
that's sneaking in channeling there, eh?
Yeah, yeah. No, I didn't mean channeling. I meant group healings. Yes. I look forward to that because it's something I haven't had a chance to do a lot, but I'm chomping at the bit now to get at that, because if I can help a group of people all at once, then then you know, if there's individual work, more individual work needed after that, then I'm willing to do that as well, of course. But you know, creating an awareness of self through a group healing session, creating an awareness of that which has been hidden from you, because we're trained to operate with this troublemaker all the time, and we're not aware that in the subconscious mind, that's where our reality's being created from. Once you give yourself permission, I use the term, take these modules, unlock them, put them down on the ground, and just sit there and go like, oh, I can't think about anything. And then and your heart's going, yeah, yay, you're not thinking. I get a chance to speak now. Hallelujah. And your heart's going like, okay, I'm going to call on the subconscious mind now, and the subconscious mind's going to connect to the DNA, and we're all going to have a party now. We're all going to upgrade our transformational opportunities right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you, Rocky. Thank you for everything. Thank you for sharing so many insights with us. And we hope to have you part of our team always. You always have been part of the family, and we'll continue to include you. Yeah. And hopefully we'll do an event together soon. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I want to just mention too, I have 2 ebooks that I give away free. And if anybody wants the ebooks, one's called Conscious Energy, Healing and Miracles. It's all of the science and all of the wisdom around quantum physics, biophysics, healing energy, how it works, and all of the scientists who are proving now that this is a scientific reality. And then my other book is a very important book to the world, and I know I've mentioned it to you before. It's called Men, Sex, and Food, Why Hearing a Woman Can Lead to a Deeper Love. It teaches men how to listen and hear a woman without fixing her, without ignoring her, and just truly listening, and why that creates an energy of into me see, which is vital for relationships to thrive and love and grow. And that's it. They're free.
Well, and we'll post them on your profile page on the website for you. Sure. And thank you again. Thank you, Rocky.
You're so welcome, and thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. You're part of the family, always have been.
Thanks, dear.